What are you doing? Shh. Come on. Okay. What are you doing? I'm trying this new thing where I listen to my body. Dude, you're never gonna hear anything like that. Here. Use this. Dude, you rock. Wait, why do you carry this around? Never mind.
Milk was a bad choice.
Whoa! I mean, it's not wrong. Yo, what is up? Welcome back to another week of How to Health. My name is Kevin. I run liftandbalance.com, where we take aim at all things health and do it in an odd, weird, interesting, and highly sarcastic manner. Today, we are diving into a concept and practice that I personally believe in. One that focuses on listening, learning, honoring, and respecting our bodies. One that makes a ton of sense on paper, but implementation can often be a challenge. We are talking about intuitive eating. And I will attempt to make the case that following a structured meal timing protocol can make intuitive eating easier. Let's see if I can do it. First, let's cover the basics. Intuitive eating concepts. At a high level, intuitive eating is about improving your relationship with food, about learning to respect and nourish your body with no strings attached, being kind to yourself throughout. It's about kicking restrictions to the curb and honoring true hunger when it arises. It has a number of guiding principles, that of which I won't go into here, but I will put links in the description for anyone who wants to explore further, as there are many people who can articulate its methods a lot better than me. So I urge you, use the Google and YouTube machine and explore. This is all great, and I vibe with it. That's why we're talking about it today. But as you may have experienced firsthand, like all things good, it's easier said than done. And this is because of the way we are evolutionary wired. How we're evolutionary wired. At our deepest roots, as a species, as an organism inhabiting this planet, we have two main objectives: survival and reproduction. And what that really means is survive long enough to reproduce, to pass on our genetic code and keep the species alive. So our bodies and its innate reward systems are wired to promote all and every function to help us achieve these two goals. Some examples of these functions, you ask? Hydration, sleep, things like sex, and, wouldn't you guess it, eating. When we perform these functions, in particular eating and sexy time, our brains reinforce the behavior by secreting feel-good neurochemicals, for example, dopamine. And as you probably already know, when we're talking things like food, some foods hit harder than others, almost in a addicting, drug-like, euphoric way. And from a survival perspective, our brain is rewarding the foods that will help us get through the long winter that's coming. You know, that time where resources are scarce and we have to rely on the stored energy that we have to make it to spring. Oh, what? That's not the case anymore? So you're telling me that we're consistently rewarding the consumption of food in preparation for scarce times of food uncertainty that never shows up anymore? That's probably not a good thing. But hey, at least we're all eating real, whole, nourishing foods that are widely available in the majority of grocery stores, right? What? You mean Frosted Flakes aren't found in nature? Tony, what the? How the modern day food landscape is stacking the odds against us. The modern day food landscape is addicting because it hacks our very evolutionary biology. The same biology that's main responsibility is to preserve the species. We are long past the days of relying on hunting and gathering to feed ourselves, our family, and our tribe. The technology boom of the last 200 years and its rapid acceleration in the last 50 has brought about many benefits, and there's no denying that. But it's also placed us in some less than optimal predicaments. An evident one being the foods we have available to eat, the foods that take a majority of the space in the grocery stores. This modern age has created foods that we humans or any organism has never seen before. When we take a look at foods in their natural forms, foods found in nature, there are no foods that are both high in something like fat and something like carbohydrates or sugar. They don't exist. Throughout hundreds of thousands to millions of years of evolution, our brains had most likely only been accustomed to one of these macronutrients at any given time. Enter modern food processing of the last 50 years. The sweet and savory combo of fat and sugar are now prevalent in a highly refined, highly processed, bite-sized snack or tray. It's tough to eat one. Yeah, I know. And what do you think our brain does? Which, if you remember, is wired for survival. It freaks out. Oh my God, there are now foods that are high in 2 essential macronutrients. This is excellent for survival. Release the dopamine. Reward, reward, reward. Mix this with common food marketing tactics that have conditioned the greater population to crave food 24/7 every single place they go. And we've landed at the 21st century conundrum of chronic Western metabolic disease. And don't get me wrong, food is not the only culprit here, but it's a big one. And for the common people who are not up to speed on the innate underlying biological survival mechanisms at play here, intuitive eating can be very difficult, or worse, place them on the path of disease and morbidity down the road. Which ain't cool. I know. That's why we're having this powwow. So let's talk about some strategies that I think subjectively will help. Enter structured meal timing, stage left. Stage left. I get my stage sides mixed. Is it your view or mine? Let's clear something up off the bat. Structured eating, more commonly known as intermittent fasting or time-restricted feeding, is not a diet. It's an eating lifestyle, meaning that it's sustainable when structured properly. And I personally see it as a way to promote and build on the principles of intuitive eating, making them more attainable and, that magic S word, sustainable. Something that can be added to other health-promoting lifestyle habits, like sleep, like proper nutrition and daily movement. There are no food restrictions, just a way to guide your body through the chaos which is the modern day food landscape. Realigning our body with its evolutionary ways of eating, in alignment with our innate sleep-wake cycles, otherwise known as our circadian rhythms, which we talk a ton about on this channel. The reason why I believe this is beneficial is because our bodies love structure. When we have a routine, when we have a rhythm to our daily eating, we put ourselves in a better position to be successful while dealing with these modern day health dilemmas. By having structure, we put our cellular and metabolic processes on a predictable schedule, in training our organs and body to be prepared for food at certain times, thus maximizing our efficiency across the board. And by doing this, we can mitigate against the aforementioned preconditioning and sporadic cravings, regaining control of our true hunger cues. We leverage the intuitive eating principles by honoring and respecting our body and digestive system by giving it a much needed rest. And by doing so, we allow it to prioritize other key functions, such as rejuvenation, regeneration, and detoxification. When you think about it, structure around sleep and exercise is never questioned. So why do we get in such a big tizzy when we talk about structure around eating? Nothing extreme here is needed, just a little bit of consistency. And I have videos, which I'll link below, on how to get started from square one, on how to find the best eating structure for you and your lifestyle. Because We're all different. And what you come to find, and what a lot of the research points out, is a 10 to 12 hour consistent feeding schedule each and every day can yield some pretty substantial results. In my own journey, I've found that this is a great way to stave off non-true hunger cravings and improve other longevity functions such as sleep. And in case you were wondering, I talk about all the benefits of a structured eating protocol in depth on this channel. One of the interesting things I found in my journey and my testing of different intermittent fasting protocols is I tend to only get hungry during my designated feeding window at the same time every single day because I am consistent. And anytime outside of that feeding window, it is rare that I get a craving or urge for any tempted snacks or treats, even if they're in front of me, even if I'm out at a party. Still, it doesn't really do it for me anymore. But listen, it doesn't happen overnight, and I will be the last person to tell you that it happens overnight. But after a few weeks to months of being consistent, you'll see and notice your body begin to change. Oh, and might I add, you'll only accelerate these benefits with proper nutrition and some daily movement. You know, had to throw that in there. Remember, health is a multi-pronged strategy. And that right there is how I think a structured meal timing protocol can help and aid an intuitive eating journey. No restrictions, just consistency. There is no perfection, so accept it doesn't exist. Instead, strive for balance. Listen to your body, be flexible, adapt, and adjust. If you're truly hungry, eat. One day, one meal is never gonna make or break you, so don't let it get under your skin. And certainly don't let it define you. If you fall off the wagon, more likely when you fall off the wagon, get on up, dust yourself off, and get back to it. It's a game of balance, and finding balance is a daily practice. Tagline, bing, 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 bing. All right, that's what I got. Hopefully it makes sense. As always, let me know any comments, questions, any random thoughts down below. Plenty more on all these topics on the channel, so check out the How to Eat and Fasting 101 playlist for more deep dives on all things health and longevity. And remember, there is no better day to start or continue investing in your most valuable asset. I'll let you decide. That's a wrap. Good job, people. Oil burner, way to stay quiet and just disrupt everything in the middle of soliloquies. Fridge, you're fired. Kettlebells, you did your thing. You held your ground. I like it. This is my life.